way, shape or form. They find a way. This man on the screen there, Akif Ilyas, hard to explain how key he will be. In his trademark, his ubiquitous style, he's got the Oakleys on, the shades are on, and he is going to be utterly critical to their efforts. Also, like to see if we can just pan back and show the non-striker Jatinder Singh into the side. I think that's a good move.
No question about it. And you look at Akif Ilyas, the way he performed in that win over Canada, he was tremendous. He was instrumental. He'll be looking to have a repeat of that performance. And now we'll have Jatinder Singh looking to team up with him as Kaleem Sana gets ready to go for the first delivery of this match.
So we're all set. I think the surface should be the kind of total. If you get 140, 150 on it, you're going to be pretty confident of being able to defend it. We're all set for one final time. Kaleem Sana beats the outside edge immediately, and a really good start from him. How important has it been, Vivek, to get this standard of cricket back? I know you had the Challenge League 2 years ago. I know you've had the occasional international, but given the kind of the path and the journey back to ODI status, this is where Canada want to be.
No question about it. And the opportunity to play at home, they have absolutely seized it. You look at, again, the undefeated run in the ODIs, and now with an opportunity to win this No Frills T20 Cup, this is what you want, an opportunity to play on home soil, take advantage of the conditions that you know so well.
Yeah, down the leg side, just helped around the corner, and again, it's so short there straight, isn't it? 57, 58 metres. I think Sana thought it was going to be 1 or 2, but it beats the dive of Parveen Kumar. It will be leg buys, but extra pace on the ball, it's at times proved a bit costly, and Sana concedes 4.
Boy, that raced away to the boundary, and if you're Ilyas, you're happy to again get a delivery that doesn't really put any pressure on you on the pads as the umpire signals the 4 runs there. 4 leg buys as Sana will look to regroup and get back on track. First delivery just outside off stump, about that 5th stump line, testing Ilyas. Not so sharp in that second delivery.
Yeah, it's quick, isn't it, from Sana? Just doing a little bit of research overnight in terms of kind of the return of this level of cricket for King City in particular. Actually hadn't hosted a T20I since all the way back in 2008. That was a quadrangular series where Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka came up. And Pakistan were here as well alongside Canada. I'm just trying to get a sense as to whether or not there's a bias, you know, in terms of batting first or batting second, because we've seen every single captain, I know it's the end of the season, that's probably the reason, wanting to bowl first. But there's been 13 completed T20Is here now. You'll enjoy this. 6 have been won by the team batting first, 6 have been won by the team batting second, and we've had 1 tie. So maybe there isn't that much of an advantage either way. And actually, we've seen runs on the board have been defended here.
Yeah, and I think part of the equation in this series in particular has been the overhead conditions. We've had the days where it's been overcast, and it's definitely been an advantage to bowl first. We've had clear skies where the team batting first has maybe figured better. And so I thought today was an interesting toss with Curtin choosing to field first.
Yeah, that should be a wide outside off stump. And it is given. Just a quick shout out to all of our officiators throughout this entire tournament, all overseen by our ICC match referee from Bangladesh. That is Niamor Rashid. Rohan Shah, he's standing at this end at the pavilion end of the ground. Arnold Medella is at square leg, and Bijal Patel has been the reserve umpire for the first three T20s, but today it's Vishal Sudalkar. So big shout out to the men in pink. Think about the men in black often, don't you, when you think about officiators? Yeah. They're pretty in pink these days, with the Fly Emirates logo on the back, of course. As this goes into the air, and oh, what a marvellous effort. May well be the skipper there, isn't it? Kind of a backward point. He gets a hand on it, almost reverse cup goalkeeper style. Harsh to call it a drop, but he did get one hand on it, Nicholas Curtin, and one captain drops the other.
He's a terrific fielder. He's got good size. And he'll be thinking that he should have had that. As you rightly said, a very difficult chance as we see full stretch from Curtin trying to get it with his left hand, his strong hand, but just couldn't get on top of it.
You just wonder if maybe the only realistic chance was to palm it up in the air and Akil Kumar to kind of get the deflection. It was that tough an effort. A little bit of fortune for Akib Ilyas as Jatinder Singh faces up. Wants the single. Oh no, big mix-up. And this could be a calamitous return to T20I cricket for Jatinder Singh. Ilyas isn't quick because remember he's had that leg surgery. And the captain initially kind of thought about it. Then he said no. And off just one ball, Jatinder Singh is going to be run out for a golden duck. It was straight to the mid-off fielder. If they'd both gone immediately, they probably would have got there. But instead, what a disastrous start for Oman.
Yeah, that's a tough return for Jatinder Singh, playing it straight to mid-off, and you could see Akib Ilyas didn't have any interest there at all. Nothing but anguish for Jatinder Singh as he heads back to the pavilion. Oman 6 for 1 after an over.
Well, about the most disastrous start you could imagine, but then again... And that day, Dilpreet Bajwa pushed it to mid-on. There probably wasn't a run. Johnson at first took a step and then sent him back, and all the fielder needed to do was throw it in one bounce to the keeper. Very similar. This time it was mid-off and Harsh Thakur doing the work. Do you think you saw Jatinder Singh kind of go over to his captain after and pat him on the head and say, look, don't worry? It was immediate yes, and then it was almost the exact same as Aaron Johnson. He took a step, then he went back. They almost could have shook hands, couldn't they? And good awareness from Sherry Ismova to get up to the stumps. So a disastrous start as Akil Kumar will get us going from the north end of the ground. We said it was Akib Ilyas or bust for Oman. Now with Jatinder Singh back in the hutch, nothing would really dissuade you from that thought right now.
No, not at all. And going back to the run out, thought that was actually pretty good composure from Harsh Thakur as well. You know, how many times do you see a fielder get excited over the run out opportunity and go for the direct hit, and maybe then you miss out on the opportunity? But he saw Shreyas Mova coming in and got it to him.
So Akib Ilyas's wicket's going to be the key one. We've said all throughout this competition that's the place to hit, particularly at this end, the north end of the ground. It's 57 metres straight. Now the wind is blowing kind of across Ilyas's left shoulder over towards the kind of deep cover, but you get it up, you're going to get good reward. 2 full from Kumar. It's a length that's been dispatched all week. Good strike from Ilyas.
Far too full from Akil Kumar, and gets the treatment it deserves. Tremendous shot from Akib Ilyas. He has been enjoying the Canadian bowling going back to the last match and looking to carry on in that same vein here.
Given how dry we feel the surfaces are getting, given that we're into October, given the strength of those 3 spin options that Canada have used so effectively, Parveen Kumar, Sab Bin Safar and Harsh Thakur throughout the series, are you surprised they've opened with the 2 seamers?
Well, I think on this occasion, with Dylan Haliger out of the side, they maybe just see an opportunity to get at Oman with the quicks early and then hold back, let that middle order come in, and then you can really roll on with the spin.
We've seen the left arm spinners, particularly Shakil Ahmed. I know he bowls very flat in trajectory, but we've seen him, Lalit Rajbanshi, the one game he played. The spinners that have opened the bowling have done really well.
No question about it. And this has unquestionably been a series for the spinners. is just picking the right moments. As you mentioned, for Canada, Parveen Kumar has had his opportunities opening the bowling. That was in the absence of Dylan Haliger. And then we've seen someone like a Harsh Thakur come in early into the attack, bowl inside the power play as well. So a lot of options for Nicholas Curtin as he looks ahead here.
Yeah, you'd imagine that Thakur will be brought on as soon as Zishan Maksud gets to the crease, the left-hander. Canada showing a lot of energy. If you're wondering about first innings scores here, the average across we're into what is the 15th T20 I hosted at this venue now, across the 16-year period. 137 first innings average, but the average total between the two innings just 128. So it's not the kind of venue. As Kumar gets one to burst through the surface, it flicks the glove of Shoaib Khan. Now that's the length you need to hit. An outstanding delivery, and after being clubbed down the ground for 6 by Aqib Ilyas, he strikes back. What a delivery. Shoaib Khan, the man to go. Akil Kumar, maybe one of the deliveries of the tournament.
And that's Akil Kumar's strength. Using that bit of skid that he has to his bowling. You can see that a short ball rising and maybe going a bit higher.
Supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
Well, a wicket in each of the first 2 overs. The first one, a bit of a calamitous run out, and then the second one, an exceptional piece of bowling. Maybe one of the best deliveries we've seen from anyone across all of these internationals. And again, look at the pace and bounce and carry, justifying the decision to stick with the two seamers right up at the top. And Oman in early trouble again. It's going to need to be their captain and their former captain to bail them out. Look at the pace, the bounce, the carry here.
You can see Canada maybe picking up on that with the wicket, saying, hey, let's get this ball into the pitch. Let's get some of that bounce and really test the Omani batters at that chest height, at that shoulder height.
Good diving stop by Curtin. Canada's fielding has been, well, a league apart from where they've been at previously, particularly last month. Also seen in action over there on the ground next to us, a really exciting innovation. We'll see if we can bring you a little bit of that. This is I think it's the first year, you're going to be able to probably tell me better, Vivek, but it's the first year that this high performance structure has been put into place. So there's 30 players coming together. Even though we're into October now, you'd think it's the end of the season, but it's kind of very much the start of something as well. There's 30 players coming together over on ground C there, I think it is. Ilyas looks for a sweep off Sana. That's pretty brave. And those 30 players are going to combine with maybe some of the ones on the fringe of this Canadian team, the guys who haven't played much, to play those 3 matches they'll play against Nepal over the next week, 3 50-over games. And they're going to try and select the best 15 for sort of Canada High Performance Select 11. So really good standard of cricket on show over there as well. Even some players with Canadian passports have flown in specially for this.
And the biggest importance of this is to make sure no one gets left behind. You had the under-19 program, and then you've had the senior team, and so for players who get into that in-between phase, not knowing where their career is headed, that's where you can lose some important talent.
The talk then is, another mix-up. Ilyas wanted the single, but Maksud didn't. Oh dear. Oman's running between the wickets. Very, very sloppy, very tardy, very poor, in fact. But I think they're also going to try and get together a squad from this and maybe get them on a kind of overseas tour. It's almost I know it's called a high performance program. It's really kind of like an A team, isn't it?
No question about it. And again, when you've got these players who are on the cusp of cracking the national side, as we get a look at some of the action here.
Oh, run out chance over there. Oh, gets home safely. Great
Who's
work.
Backing up.
Great work by Jeremy up at the top. We appreciate him bringing us those pictures. Maybe they were a bit of osmosis from Zishan Maksud and Aqib Ilyas. But yeah, I know it's a facility that's a bit maligned at points, King City, but it's the best that you have permanently here in Canada, isn't it? And the fact that you have the 5 pitches, that's kind of quite a unique thing that gives Cricket Canada a lot of benefit.
Absolutely, no question about it. You can get plenty of action going, and you can cater to several teams, and that's, again, all about the opportunity, getting these players reps, getting these players the opportunities to play, the exposure, the experience, rubbing shoulders with players that they can learn from, and creating these opportunities that they wouldn't have had before, and believing that this is a path that they can stay on, and it's not just, hey, okay, this under 19 opportunity was nice, but it might be a long way before I can do anything else. So
yeah, it's certainly something I think all nations struggle with a bit, but the test nations have the benefit of having the first class structures and the professional cricketers outside of the national team to kind of mop them up. So if you have a late developer who comes through county cricket or state cricket in India or state cricket in Australia or New Zealand or South Africa, this is driven down the ground. It's just a push, but again, you play straight here, you get rewarded. We see it again and again. And that shows the class of Aqib Ilyas. It's barely a drive, is it? It's just kind of a gentle prod forward to a fast delivery, and he's going to get 4.
You'll take that any day. 0 risk for 4 runs. You come across, showing all 3 stumps behind him to cut off the angle, as Kaleem Sana opted to go around the wicket there and change things up. And a gentle prod forward to get the ball past mid-off and to the boundary.
Well, good pace and bounce again from Kaleem Sana. He is quick, isn't he? Probably see him again at the death. He's tended to bowl 2 at the start and 2 at the end. Halfway through the power play, Oman in trouble. 18 for 2.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our
Well, if you want a little microcosm of how Oman's tour has gone and how reliant they are on their captain, they scored 18 runs. Aqib Ilyas has got 16 of them, and already 2 of his partners are back in the hutch, although he had a bit of a role in one of them in the run-out. They are just overly reliant upon his runs, aren't they? I know Zishan Maksud played well yesterday for his, was it 35 or something?
Important innings yesterday, and we've talked about Ilyas's form. These 2 will need to stay at the crease for quite some time, and that's where you get into that interesting conundrum as a batter in the T20 format, where you're still in the power play, you've got 3 overs to go, you want to maximize that as much as you can, but at the same time, both these batters will know one of them gets out, and it's going to be very, very challenging to put up a competitive score.
Slip and a gully in place. First slip's quite wide. Maksud, we saw him take on Rijan Dakal yesterday, but a completely different proposition. That was a left arm seamer coming into him at a kind of very medium pace. Akhil Kumar is much sharper, and it was this end of the ground that he dispatched Rijan Dakal for the 2 maximums. If he's going to do that, he's going to have to hook or pull well. That wind continues to pile across the ground, so that 60-metre boundary in the leg side, certainly a factor for the left-hander here. Instead, he edges one, and combination of the slip and the keeper cuts it off.
Well done by Shreyas Mova to get a hand on that. That really got away from Akhil Kumar, trying to go full and wide outside off. In the end, the story is a dot ball. And you had Navneet Dhaliwal at first slip, able to back up Shreyas Mova's efforts there to stop the ball as well.
Bit of width on offer, and Maksud just needs to throw his hands through that. It's the longest corner of the ground, and it will get to the rope. It lasered off the bat, but it shows just how heavy parts of that outfield are with all that rain we had 48 hours ago. Maksud underway in real style.
Not much foot movement, but that's the hand-eye coordination of Maksud for you. Just able to lash it through the covers, and full and wide from Akhil Kumar. Probably trying to entice the batter to get onto that front foot. No movement there, and we might see a response in going short here.
Change of angle around the wicket. You can see the thought process from Maksud. Target that shorter side, but looks to be bowling quite quickly this morning, doesn't he, Akil Kumar? Probably not far off the pace of Kalim Sana.
No, and again, he's got that skiddiness to him, and that's probably why he's looking to mix up those lengths, keep the batter guessing. Went full with a couple of deliveries and then throws in the short one that Maksud couldn't get on top of and frankly couldn't get in front of. And we'll see which way Kumar goes here with this fifth delivery, as we see a slight change in the field. Got third man coming just a bit finer.
Now, this should be a chance, and it will be taken. Zishan Maksud looks down at his bat, but the wickets continue to tumble here in the power play. Harsh Thakur involved in the dismissal again. This time he takes a catch. Akil Kumar has two, and Oman have lost their third.
And again, mixing up those lengths well. Able to go short and now follow it up. Maksud seeing the opportunity to drive, looking to go over mid-off, over Harsh Thakur, who comfortably takes the catch. And Oman now in deep, deep trouble as Canada huddle and celebrate. 3 down for 22 here.
Firmly staying in that team hotel. Well, I think Rohit Powdell might be watching on from the Toronto Marriott Airport and saying, not sure I need to be jumping into a taxi anytime soon or waiting for that Cricket Canada courtesy car, because yet again Oman have got themselves into batting trouble. Khalid Kale to the crease. He's at number 5, been used in very different roles, and he gets into his work immediately, clipping one off his legs for what should be a couple. Akib Ilyas thinking about the third, but Sana has a pretty good arm and should be able to cut that off. Anything that Oman have done just hasn't really worked with the bat, and a lot will rest on the shoulders of Akib Ilyas. 4 bowled.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever.
Engine bowling. You'll see Parveen Kumar come into the attack from an end that he hasn't bowled much from. He's tended to bowl more from the north end of the ground, and this is interesting with the dimensions we have today, because for the right-handers, and there's 2 of them out there, it's going to be 60 metres to the leg side, and that wind is making that feel like even less. This is kind of, for me, it's quite an aggressive piece of captaincy, and you just wonder, particularly for this over, whilst the power play is still in effect, will Akib Ilyas maybe try to take him on, maybe with that wrong foot sweep shot that he really enjoys to play?
No question, and I think, again, as you mentioned, an aggressive move here. Canada, obviously, with their chests out, with Oman 24 for 3 after 4 overs. Kalim Sana is the man at long off, and then you've got a man at deep square leg as well.
No, that's possibly good angle down. I'm not sure whether that's turned enough. He's come very wide of the crease. Also might have been a couple of noises. No, there wasn't. It was given his leg buys, but my initial instinct is that hasn't really turned. It's just skidded on, and therefore with the angle it'll miss leg stump. I think it's a good decision. We'll get a second look when we can.
I It's a good start for Parveen Kumar regardless, as we see another adjustment in the field. Got the man at short fine leg.
No.
As the replay comes in.
After the sensor.
And
They're back live with you now. Just beats the outside edge with a bit of turn. Let's get a look at this replay now. You got to look at how wide he is of the crease there. Now this needs to turn. It's got to turn more than it did to be given out. I think for me that's a very good decision.
No question about it. Definitely going down leg.
So sweep shot and real fortune because it's come off the top edge. It'll run away for 4. Khalid Kale targeting that shorter side. He's taking it from well outside off stump. Didn't get the part of the bat that he wanted to, but he will get 4 runs.
Kale looking for the sweep shot there. Gets the top edge. The fielder thought he was in with a chance, but that ball just raced away.
Back live, just missed that one. It's turned very sharply and beaten the outside edge. We did think it was going to be a dry pitch. We feel that the wickets, with the weight of cricket they've had, it's incredible actually into October here. With the amount of cricket there's been, that they're still kind of holding up so well. But spin is going to be a factor today, no doubt about that. I think he's outside the line this time. Oh no, it's given. And Khalid Kale could find himself in trouble. He's pointing towards the bat. It was almost a 2-pronged appeal, wasn't it? Again, you got to remember how wide he is of the crease. Didn't give the first decision, but this time the finger's gone up. I'm not so sure about this one. Let's get a look.
Again, as you mentioned, he is coming from wide of the crease. It's angling in. Is it continuing to come in and hit him in line? Ooh, that might be hitting just outside the line of off stump. So a questionable, controversial call there as Oman sink further into trouble. Kale goes for 6 off 5 deliveries, and Oman now 29 for 4.
So, it's a T20I debutant. He's waited the entire tour to get into action in their 8th and final game for Oman. Hamid Mirza is going to be very nervous. You can see those nerves. 5 have been bowled. It is all Canada. They are dominating this final contest of the No Frills T20 Cup. It's 29 for 4.
As a business.
School program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Well, big day, big moment for 2 men. One of them at the moment, he's at the non-strikers end. That's Hamid Mirza. He is on his T20I debut. It's Aki Bilias's numbers. We'll get a look at Hamid Mirza's now. Again, one of the challenges for Oman has been blooding youth. Finally, they're giving somebody a bit on the younger side an opportunity. So, 26 years of age. This man, the other debutant's 34 though. Sad bin Safar comes into the attack and is cut away for 4. Well, that is a real old-fashioned loosener, isn't it? Just to drag down. And Aki Bilias is not going to miss out on that.
No, he is not. Not in the form he is in presently. Saab bin Zafar has been bowling terrifically throughout the tournament, but a short, wide, long hop there. And Ilyas, easy pickings with the cut to the boundary.
What's Aki Bilias thinking out there? I know he was involved. He'll probably put his hands up and say it was somewhat his fault to run out, but it must feel like him against the world at points right now.
Yeah, he'll be thinking that he's just got to bat out the 20 overs and hopefully find a partner that can stick around with him for a bit.
Pulls this one away. Should get a couple here, as it will be Ravinder Pal Singh, who came in for his first game in the series, was not out at the end. As big comeback win that, wasn't it? You look at those two Nepal-Canada games, I reckon if Nepal watches both of them back, they won't believe it. They lost either of them.
No question about it. Definitely had winning opportunities in both. Winning situations. And you mentioned it going into the start of the series, Nepal struggling to get over the line and matches coming in, not having maybe that full confidence. And that shows at the end of games. Not able to get over the line, and those winning moments, those key moments when the game can go either way, Canada has been able to come through.
So that's going to get us to the end of the power play. The score is 35 for 4. So Vivek earlier was talking about how we have seen the return of top-class international cricket. And as well, and a big shout out to all 15 of these kind of heroes: Melvin Cronin, Mr. S. Kirasan, M. Vithun, Noel Lewis, Eugene Soanes, H. Alexis, Mohan Chandra Mohan, S. Yathavan, M. Sivakumar. And we want to give them all a shout out maybe after the first ball. Might be able to give us a wave after this first ball. That's the footage of them working this morning. And let's get a look at them now after this delivery. As Mirza gets a first run in international cricket. M. Sivakumar, P. Kajan, R. Martin, K. Prashithan, Rishan Cronin, M. Iran, and S. Amalan. We will get to them eventually. We'll get to them after this ball, I think. If we can bring them up on shot. I think Shah's over there, isn't he, the Cricket Canada man? Might be able to show them now, actually. Change of the field. Show them now. There they are. Give us a wave, guys. And there they are. Big thanks to all of the ground staff, the 15 heroes. Absolutely all of them. Look at Melvin. Big smile on Melvin's face. And Shah's getting the message. There they are. We'll stay on them, come back to them, just a single. We'll give them one more wave. And there they are. Big hello from the crowd staff. Took a bit of coordination, Vivek, but we got there. Our thanks to them. They've been here at all kinds of hours, and we really appreciate their work.
They've been brilliant throughout, and you look at the conditions that have been on offer here and getting the pitches ready, maintaining the outfield. We've had tricky conditions on a couple of days, especially dealing with the weather, and they've done really well to make sure we have plenty of cricket on offer.
Yeah, one thing during the ODIs when we got here very early, there was so much dew on the outfield. You were thinking, God, how are we going to play? And I won't lie, when I got on the plane coming across the Atlantic, as that is going to be gone, and Parveen Kumar is having a field day. The finger goes up again. And Hamid Mirza's debut is going to be a short one. The 26-year-old, the feet didn't really go anywhere. And there was no hesitation this time. It looked a better shout to me. We'll get another look. Was this the right decision?
I think it was. I think when we get a look at this replay here, it just seems like Hamid Mirza misread the delivery, anticipating turn that it would come to outside the off stump, but instead it just goes straight on and goes between bat and pad. Looks like it was clearly going on to the stump.
Yeah, I think it's the fact it's hit the back pad as well. I think for me that's fair enough. That's hit in line, and it's probably going to go on and hit off stump or something in that vicinity. So Mirza's debut, one to forget. It's 37 for 5.
Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef, topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Well, Oman are in all sorts of trouble. They really are. And here comes the second debutant. 34 years of age. Today, it's his birthday. Born in Mumbai, he's travelled across the Gulf, ended up in the Sultanate of Oman. He's made his new home there. He qualified in 2022, and after some great domestic performances, had a particularly good D20 last season. He's forced his way in. Bowled some off breaks, handy enough with the bat down the order, but he's going to need to be. I don't think he imagined on his debut he'd be walking to the crease at 37 for 5, but Oman have done, well, basically nothing right here today. And they've got themselves into all sorts of bother. Parveen Kumar has started very brightly. We'll have a commentary change after this. 7 bowled, 37 for 5.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
As Saad bin Zafar looks to continue, we have a change in commentary as I'm now joined by Monali Patel.
Well, we're in for a quick game here, aren't we, Vivek? Oman, 37 for 5. They're in some trouble here. And lots of changes for them today. 4 changes in total. And it's really not gone their way. In fact, quite surprising because the skipper at the toss said he would have rather had a bat first anyway.
Looks really, really difficult for Oman from here. 38 for 5. You got Saad bin Zafar just beginning his second over. He's probably been Canada's bowler of this series thus far. And so it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel for Oman in this innings. Going to need something special here from the debutant Siddharth Bukapatnam.
Oh dear. And that's another appeal. This time, not out, says umpire Arnold Medella. And Saad, he's going to hold that squat. He's going to hold it until he gets an explanation.
He seems absolutely confounded by that decision. Hands in the air. How could that not
There's turn. There's bounce.
He's beating the outside edge again and again, and then he slips in that one delivery that will just go straight through. And Oman have not been able to pick up Praveen Kumar at all in this innings.
Bamboozled again, and the over ends with a dot. Oman 39 for 6 after 9.